Hello, this is Pixel and Point. I uploaded a video recently of me playing Tampon Run, which got loads of views, so I thought I'd do a new video that was kind of a bit of fun. So I'm going to show you how to do some digital art using JavaScript. So this is what I'm going to recreate, and the inspiration that I got for this was actually from a friend of mine, Christina Winkless. One of her previous jobs, she'd created some posters called Teach Our Kids to Code, and that's to recreate this Venn diagram with a sort of red, blue and green colour, and they included in the posters this code which you can use in Adobe Illustrator. But rather than doing that and just copy and paste it, I'm going to try and recreate it in HTML and JavaScript. So first things first, I have created a folder here and I've got a basic HTML file. If I just open this in Sublime Text. Now this is a really simple HTML page. If you don't know how to create a HTML page that's basic like this, then I'd recommend Bootstrap, and I'll include a link down below. This is my personal one that I've developed from Bootstrap and a few other resources. So this is what I'm going to start with, and when I just open that in my browser, if I drag it on again, you can see there's nothing there. So just to show you that if I change this, I'm going to put the title in and call it Circles, and if I save that and refresh, you can see the title up here, so Circles. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is, I'm going to use this JavaScript library called Raphael, and Raphael enables you to create images, vector graphics they're called, and SVG graphics through their library of JavaScript code. So this is going to give me a lot of power straight away, and I can just use their basic examples to build on top of and create our digital art. Okay, so I'm going to download this there, and that just loads it up in the page. So if I select all and copy that, now I have a plugins.js. This is just an empty file linked off of my basic HTML file anyway. So I could put it in there, or I could just create a new one. So if I create a new file, paste in that Raphael code, file, save, and call that Raphael min.js. I'm going to save it in my JS folder, my JavaScript folder, save that there. Also, you can see it's appeared in the folder here, and go back to my basic HTML page, and because I'm not going to use plugins.js, I'm just going to change this to Raphael min.js. Make sure it's named exactly the same, otherwise it won't know what you're talking about, what to reference it from. So save that again, and that will be on this page, but there's nothing there yet. So what I'm going to do first is we'll go back to the basic raphaeljs.com, and I'm going to copy the example code that it gives. So I've just selected this in the black code area, copy that and paste it over here into my HTML file. So if I create a new line, and the great thing about Sublime Text is it will finish things. So if I start to write script and then I hit tab, it finishes the rest of that code for me. I'm going to create a new couple of lines, give myself some space, and I'm just going to paste in that code that I've copied over from here. Now I'm going to tab this in because I'm a bit anal about that kind of thing. Make sure it's nice and tidy. Okay, so file, save. And if I go here I've got a little red dot. So what this says is create a canvas, and they've got the canvas paper. So you can't see the canvas because it has a white background, and my main HTML page has a white background too. But basically they've created a canvas at 320 by 200 pixels wide. It starts 10 pixels in and 50 pixels down. I'm going to neaten that up a bit because those numbers are a bit odd for me. I like things to be nice and neat and tidy. So I'm going to create it 50 down, 50 across, and then 800 and 800. And let's tidy up these comments as well, in case anyone else wants to come and look and see what I've been up to. At least then it will be made clear. So I'm going to save that again. Refresh this page. Now you can see that it's more of a neat space. And then my actual circle, I'm going to make this much larger. So circle is create a new circle on the paper, and I'm going to create that at 120 by 120. So that's 120 down from the top and 120 down from the left, across from the left, and I'm going to make it 120 pixels wide as well. So let's neaten this up. File, save. I might use Command S next time because it's just a bit quicker. Okay, now it's way bigger. So my canvas is 50 in and 50 across, and then I think this is the centre point. So the 120 by 120 is the centre point. I think someone in the comments might correct me because JavaScript is really not my strong point. I'm just using this to play around and for fun, but I'm sure someone will be able to help down there. Okay, so now I've got a great big red circle, but I don't really want it to be red. So what I'm going to do instead is make it blue. So down here, the next line, it says, sets the fill attribute of the circle to red. But I want to change that to blue. And I've selected my colours already, and I'm going with 66CC. I'll make those capital CC, just to be nice and neat, and copy that. So this says circle, this is my circle where I've created it here. The circle attribute fill colour, that's what that means, should be 66CC. Oops, I've deleted the end brackets, hopefully that's right. I need a semicolon at the end to end the line. Save that. Go here and refresh, and now it's blue. Well, it's kind of a tealy blue, but that's nice blue, I think. Awesome. So what am I going to do next? The next line says the stroke. So that's kind of the border around the circle. That's currently white, but I'm going to make it the same colour as my fill colour. So the circle attribute of stroke is currently double F, but I'm going to change it to 6. C. Let me just undo that. If ever you see there's just 3 letters or numbers, that means they're kind of doubled up. So 1F, you basically need 6 numbers or letters to create a colour. You can drop those in Photoshop, or you can use a colour scheme generator online to find out your colour codes. But you always need 6, but you can write them shorthand if they're doubled up. So technically I could write my colour as 6CC, and it would know that the second number should be 6, and then the 4th should be C, and then the 6th should be C. But I'm going to keep them longhand just because it can be a bit confusing. Save that, okay, and refresh. So now I've got a border that's that colour as well. You can't really tell the difference. You can't see where my border starts and where my fill starts. But what I want to do is, because I'm going to have 3 circles and they're going to overlay each other, I quite like them to be a little bit transparent. So I'm going to go over to Raphael. Scroll back to the top. Now this all looks quite complicated, but if you go here to documentation, this tells you all of the different crazy things that you can do with Raphael. And what I actually want, the fill and the stroke are both attributes. So I'm just going to stick with attributes because hopefully they'll be nice and easy to work with. So if I scroll down, ATTR isn't far down. So I can see here in this grey area all of the different possibilities for attributes, and I'm gonna use this fill opacity here. So we've got fill, we've used that already. We've got stroke, I've used that already. There's opacity in general. I think that would affect both the fill and the stroke, but actually I want a solid border around my circle and an opaque circle. Ooh, something just went bing. So I'm going to use fill opacity. Copy that. So I'm going to write the same, copy what I've got here. So, oh, I've got caps lock on. Circle.attr. Spell it right. Fill opacity, comma, and then what does it say here? Fill opacity should be a number. So if it's a string, you have to have the quotes around it, like we've got for the colours there. But for a number, I think you can just write it without. I'm going to give that a go. End it with a semicolon and save. Go here. Did it break? No, it worked. Great. Okay, so let me tidy up my comments. Sets the fill attribute of the circle to blue, that's fine. Sets the stroke attribute of the circle to blue. And copy this. Sets the fill opacity attribute of the circle to 50%. Great. Awesome. So I've got one circle. So now I want 3 circles. Now I've already played around and defined where I want them placed. So if you want to create a slightly different formation, you can play around yourself. But what I'm going to do here is, because I know I want 3 circles, and then I'm just going to change the colours, I'm going to copy this block. Actually, I need to include my circle as well. Creation. So I create 3. Now what I need to do is actually change the names of these, otherwise it's just going to do it once because they're all named the same. So this is going to be blue circle. And make sure my blue circle attribute is blue, my blue stroke attribute is blue, and my fill opacity attribute is 50%. And then the next is going to be a green circle. Copy that, paste, paste, paste. And finally my red circle. So if you didn't see how I did that, that is copy, paste, paste, paste. So what I should end up, if I save this now, is 3 circles all on top of each other. It looks darker because they're all layered on top of each other. So let me change the colours. So my second colour is going to be caps lock, double C, double C, double 6. And here, double C, double C, double 6. And my third colour will be double F, double 6, double 6. double F, double six. Copy that in my comments as well to keep things nice and neat and tidy. Save that and refresh. Ooh, now I've got like a muddy browny colour. Okay, so let's separate out those circles, and I'm going to have my green circle at 300 across and the same radius and the same down, and my red circle is going to be in the middle, 210, 280 down, and the same radius. I'll save. Refresh. Wow! Cool. Okay, so if that step was a little bit confusing, I'm going to go back and change the positions before I change the colours. So let me just undo all this. Okay, so this was right. I definitely want to rename them all. Great. I'll keep the colours as they are. Change my green circle to be 300 by 120 by 120, and the red to be 210 by 280. Save that. Refresh. Okay, so now they're all the same colour, but they're in the different positions, and now I can go in and change the colours. So double C, double six. Copy that, paste it there, and here double F, double six. Copy that, paste it here, and refresh. Woohoo! So I've got my nice Venn diagram, my little digital art that I've created using Raphael JavaScript library, and then over here we've created a blue circle, and the blue circle had a fill attribute of double C, and a stroke attribute of double C, and a fill opacity attribute of 50% or 0.5. I've got a green circle, and that's further over to the right, with a fill attribute of double C, and a stroke attribute of double C, and the fill opacity is 50% again. And then finally a red circle, which is centered on the canvas at 210 and 280 further down, and I've made that have a fill attribute of double F, double six, a stroke attribute of double F, double six, and a fill opacity of 50%. Awesome. Now you notice from the original, from the inspiration, that I have moved the red down, and I've also equalised the overlapping shapes, because that personally really frustrates me when a Venn diagram, the overlapping shapes are all different sizes. So I've equalled those out. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that. Little bit of fun, not much point to it, but I guess it's nice to play around with JavaScript sometimes and see all the different things that you can do. Now, if you are interested in digital art, I would really recommend Seb Lee Delisle, and his website is seb.li, and if you go to his projects page, there we go, you can watch some videos of all the fun things that he creates, mainly with JavaScript again. So he's got lots of Vimeo videos on there. Personally, I've been to one of his Pixel Pyros events where you can see fireworks shooting up on a large screen, and the people at the event actually control those by hitting the screen, and that makes the fireworks shoot up. I also saw Seb at a conference talking, and he did like live coding, and he created all kinds of fireworks and patterns on really old computers, so that was a lot of fun. Okay guys, if you would like to see the circles online, I have uploaded them to pixelandpoint.co.uk/circles, so you can go in there, take a nosy at my code, and if you have any suggestions or you think I did anything wrong, then leave me a comment below. But please be nice. Okay, thanks guys.